Alyssa and Nathan are talking about their friend Yipsira, who passed away just a couple of months ago in India. Before we went to the break, Alyssa, we were talking about the confusion that was going on. So what happened at that point? You were talking about a chair being put in there, and just pick up the story.
Yeah, so a chair, one of the students grabbed a chair, ripped them off the electrical wire. And so then help came and took them in automobile to the hospital. And that was the last time I saw Yipsira in that time. And so automatically after that, we just began to pray for resurrection life. And we were all together, all the students, 80 of us and me there. And we just started to begin to pray for resurrection life for Yipsira and Nathan, because we didn't know what was happening or anything that was occurring.
So you hadn't been told at that point what the situation was. So Nathan, what do you remember?
For me, I remember when I immediately woke up. When God gave me my life back, it's kind of like in the movies where your eyes kind of blank in and out for a little bit. I had that, and I had to transfer in between a different hospital to get a scan done, a full body scan. And they transferred me in between the taxis in India, the autos. And
it's not the same as Canada, for sure.
No, not the same. And the hospital there too, because they run on a caste system, we were low caste people. We went to a low caste hospital. And so it was terrible. It was dirty, it was gross. Worst hospital experience I've had.
Okay, and I know you're talking about going back, so you're a pretty tough guy. So when did you find out that you had been, I guess your heart had stopped for 30 minutes? When did you find out that you weren't supposed to be here anymore?
What I found out was when I got back from the hospital, which was, the event happened on the Friday afternoon, and I got back the Sunday, which was actually Resurrection Sunday. And during that time, they told me what happened. It was hard, but the people around me, the people that we had there with us, was just incredible. Like, even in the hospital, I was in the hospital for about a day and a half, almost 2 days. And throughout that whole time, there were at least 3 guys from the college there, 3 staff that were there. And they would switch in and out. So every few hours, a different batch would come, and they'd be there, they'd feed me by hand, and it was crazy.
Were they telling you what happened? Hey, Nathan, why are you here?
No, okay. I was confused, very emotional. I didn't know what happened.
And you didn't know that your friend had passed away?
No, not when I was in the hospital. And it was very hard because I was emotional, but didn't understand why. The previous days, I was having trouble coughing and digesting the food. So I thought I was there because of that. But then there's these emotions and you don't understand it. And then I finally understood when I got back and to the college in India.
Alyssa, when did you find out that the love of your life had passed away and he'd gone to be with the Lord?
Well, I found out on Good Friday that he succumbed to death. So he automatically died. And there was nothing that they could do about it. So it was at that night. And I knew kind of that was what was happening.
What were you feeling at the time?
Well, all of a sudden, I just felt this sorrow come over me. And I was like, no, why? And, you have those questions, when that sort of stuff happens. But all of a sudden, I messaged my mom and I'm like, he's gone, but keep praying for resurrection life. Because when he was a child, the nickname that they gave him in the hospital, because he lost 95% of his blood, but the nickname that he gave him was Motambi. And in their language, Amharic, it means death to fire. Say no to death. And so that's what we were believing for in that time.
How have you been processing? And I know you got a very supportive family, you've got supportive friends, but still, you're going through the grief process.
Yeah. Well, I know that through the process, God's been so good to me. And I know that he will never leave me or forsake me. And this whole process, I've just felt this immense peace that God's given me. And a lot of people deal with grief in a different way, but
that's true.
I'm just keep standing on the Word of God and who He is in my life.
Before we conclude this interview, Nathan, what has Yipsira left with you? Because in talking with you guys today,
Yeah.
what I sense is you are now more determined.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you're doing and what you guys want to do, and the vision, the passion, and the legacy that you're living on for your good friend.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's just so incredible that there's so many things preparing us beforehand, just preparing our hearts.
Yeah.
And we always talk about vision. We always talk about the next steps we're going to take, the things we're going to help people with and stuff. And so one of the biggest things that Yipsira and I were talking about before we went to India and while we were there was that this next year of Bible college that we're going to go into is going to be the best year of my life, the best year of your life. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm really working towards, especially, is that for anyone, no matter if you're going to Thailand or not, this is going to be the best year of your life. And you know, one of the things that we do, that we've started, is an organization called Dreams Uncuffed. Mm-hmm. And we have a website, and we have
give me your
lots of
website
resources.
address, because we're almost out of time. Give me the website address.
Dreamsuncuffed.org. And it's just incredible. We post stuff on social media. We have Facebook and Instagram. And, you know, it's building upon the legacy that Yipsira left behind. Like, one of the things he talked about a lot was the 3 pillars of this world. The world is built on 3 pillars: on education, politics, and social media.
Yes.
And so influencing those 3 areas, making a difference in those 3 areas.
Well, you guys are making a difference, and you know, I pass on my condolences. We lost a fighter in the kingdom, but he will inspire us all. And you guys have inspired me, so thank you for being with us. Let's now go over to Cheryl. Cheryl.